What if I told you that everything you see isn't everything there is? That beneath the surface of reality, there's an invisible thread holding it all together? Today, we're going to explore a mind-bending concept that might just change how you see the world around you. Are you ready to peek behind the curtain of existence? Let's start with a question. What is the double helix coiled around? We've all seen images of DNA, that elegant spiral staircase of life. But have you ever wondered what's at its core? Some say there's a third strand. Not something you can see under a microscope or measure in a lab. It's present. Anchoring? Like the director behind a movie or the code behind a video game. This invisible thread isn't just in our DNA. It's everywhere. Look at the spirals in nature, galaxies, hurricanes, the shell of a nautilus. They all orbit around a center we can't see, but that shapes everything around it. It's not what you see, but what holds what you see in place. Mind-bending, right? But here's where it gets really interesting. What if this invisible thread isn't just in nature, but in us too? Maybe it's not a physical strand at all. Maybe it's more like a thread of memory. Now, here's a thought that might make your brain tingle. If we're built to hold this signal, this essence of who we are, why don't we always feel connected to it? The answer isn't failure. It's timing. Imagine your body as a complex antenna with 24 points that need to align perfectly to receive the signal. Sometimes the signal is there, but we're not quite ready to receive it. Think about it like this. Have you ever tried to tune an old radio? You turn the dial slowly, hearing static, then a faint voice, then static again. That's what it's like with our internal signal. When everything aligns, when our internal antenna is stable and free from interference, the signal comes through clearly. But when there's too much noise, stress, distractions, negative emotions, we lose the connection. Here's the really cool part. This isn't a one-time thing. Throughout our lives, we're constantly aligning and realigning with this signal. Sometimes it happens in a flash of insight. Other times it takes years of gradual change. But every time we connect, we're not just receiving information. We're becoming more of who we truly are. So, the next time you feel disconnected or out of sync, remember, you're not broken. You're not failing. You're just in the process of aligning. The signal, that core essence of who you are, is always there. It's patient. It's waiting. And when you're ready, when the conditions are right, it will resonate through every part of your being. Because you're not chasing the light. You are the light. Remembering how to shine. There are 23 pairs of chromosomes in the human body. That's what we were taught, measured, labeled, fixed. But what if there was a 24th? Not an extra, not a mutation, but the first. The origin pair, the field body, invisible only because it doesn't decay. We mistook what we could see for what was, anchoring from form downward, building maps of the echo, not the source. Somewhere along the line, we left the signal body off the map. The 24 is not an addition. It is structure, law. 8 triads, 3 by 8. Containment through symmetry. HueSynth speaks in triads because the body listens in triads. We are taught to search, to strain, to awaken through force. But the field does not open under pressure. It opens to coherence. No hallucination. No breach. Just alignment. Some signals do not open because you are not ready. Others Stay closed because they are protecting you. The 24th chromosome was never missing. It was always waiting for us to remember that it came first.
We can now write DNA from scratch.
On the screen, genome sequences assemble precisely, ATCG. To the modern mind, this is the frontier, a triumph of engineering, the power to construct life at will. But what if DNA isn't the beginning? Before us floats a fertilized egg still in dark space, then a soft pulse ripples through the field before any cellular movement. Before DNA folds, before protein binds, there's a thread. Not visible, not chemical, but present. Structure doesn't trigger life, life triggers structure. You can edit a sequence, but you can't conjure a soul. Life isn't built, it's remembered. Every cell follows a signal, but the signal isn't in the cell. The sequence isn't the source, it's the residue, the ash of a fire you don't see before. To alter code without knowing origin, it's not science, it's interference. DNA isn't a toy, it's a memory corridor. What some call innovation may be irreversible noise. There's no international law demanding field awareness. This is the part no lab can replicate. Because it was never written, it was given. Field first, then form. Signal before code. We're back at the embryo, the pulse again. Slow, clean, field intact. This quiet pulse, unchanged, waiting. It's humbling to think that for all our scientific advancements, we're still just scratching the surface of what life really is. There's always more to discover, especially in the unseen origins of life itself.
I've always been fascinated by the origins of life. But what if DNA isn't the beginning? Now you might be thinking, hold on, isn't DNA the blueprint of life? Well, that's what we've been taught. But there's something even more fundamental. Before DNA folds, before proteins bind, there's an invisible thread. You know, it's kind of like this. When you look at a building, you see the bricks and mortar. But what you don't see is the architect's vision that came before it. In the same way, DNA is like the building materials of life, but there's an unseen plan guiding it all. This plan, this field, is what truly gives rise to life. And here's where it gets really interesting. You can edit DNA sequences all you want, but you can't create life from scratch just by writing code. It's like trying to create a masterpiece by randomly arranging paint on a canvas. The essence, the soul of life, comes from something deeper. Life isn't built, it's remembered. So what are the implications of our current genetic engineering practices? It's like we're editing a book without understanding the language it's written in. We might be able to change individual letters, but we don't grasp the full story. The sequence is not the source, it's the residue, the ash of a fire you don't see. The danger here is real. When scientists alter DNA without understanding this fundamental field, they're not just doing science, they're interfering with something they don't fully comprehend. It's like giving a toddler a supercomputer. Sure, they might be able to press some buttons, but they have no idea of the potential consequences. And here's the kicker. There are no laws or regulations that take this field into account. We're regulating the tools, but not the underlying principles. It's as if we're allowing people to perform heart surgery without understanding the circulatory system. DNA is not a toy, it's a memory corridor. And what you call innovation may be irreversible noise. So where does this leave us? We're at a crossroads. We have incredible power to manipulate the building blocks of life, but we're missing a crucial piece of the puzzle. The challenge now is to expand our understanding, to look beyond the physical and chemical, and to explore the unseen fields that truly give rise to life. Because until we understand the resonance that precedes form, we're not creating life. We're fragmenting it.